For a long time, I believed I needed more certainty before I could move forward. I thought I needed a better plan, a clearer roadmap, more confidence, more answers. I thought that once everything made sense, then I would take action. But life doesn't seem to work that way. At least it didn't for me. There was a period in my life when I spent a lot of time waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting for clarity, waiting for certainty. And while I was waiting, life kept moving. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and I found myself standing in the same place emotionally, mentally, and financially. Not because I wasn't capable, but because I was waiting for conditions that were never going to arrive. I wanted guarantees. I wanted proof that everything would work out. I wanted to know exactly where the road would lead before I started walking. The problem is that life rarely gives us that. Most meaningful journeys begin with uncertainty. Most important decisions involve risk. Most transformations begin before we feel prepared. Looking back, I realize I had things backwards. I thought clarity would come first, then action. But in reality, action came first, then clarity followed. The more steps I took, the more I learned. The more I learned, the more confident I became. The more confident I became, the more opportunities I could see. And suddenly I understood something. You don't need to have everything figured out before you begin. You simply need enough courage to take the next step. I think many people get stuck because they're trying to solve the entire future. They're trying to answer questions that don't yet need answers. Questions like, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? What if I never recover? What if I can't rebuild? I've asked those questions too. But here's what I've learned. The future is rarely built through certainty. It's built through movement. One step, one lesson, one adjustment, one decision at a time. Think about learning to drive. You don't learn by reading about driving forever. At some point, you have to sit behind the wheel. Think about building a business. You don't learn everything before you begin. You learn while doing. Think about rebuilding your life. The same principle applies. You learn by moving forward, not by waiting. One of the biggest mistakes I made was believing that confidence would arrive before action. I was wrong. Confidence is often the result of action. Every small step forward gave me evidence that I could handle more than I thought. Every challenge I survived reminded me that I was stronger than my fears. Every small victory gave me a little more belief in myself. Not because life became easier, but because I kept moving. And maybe that's the message someone listening needs to hear today. Maybe you're waiting for confidence, waiting for certainty, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for the perfect time. But what if the perfect time never comes? What if clarity is waiting on the other side of action? What if the answers you're looking for can only be discovered by taking the next step? I know that's not always comfortable. I know uncertainty can feel intimidating, but uncertainty is not always a sign that you're on the wrong path. Sometimes it's a sign that you're growing. Sometimes it's a sign that you're entering a new chapter. And every new chapter begins with things we don't yet understand. Today, I still don't have all the answers. I still don't know exactly how every part of my future will unfold. But I no longer see that as a problem. because I've learned something important. You don't need to know everything. You only need to know the next step, and often that's enough. If you're rebuilding your life right now, don't let uncertainty stop you. Don't let the lack of a perfect plan keep you trapped. Take the next step. Learn from it. Adjust. Then take the next one. Because your future won't be built through waiting. It will be built through movement. Thank you for listening. And if you're navigating your own chapter 2, subscribe and join me on the journey. Because your story isn't over. You're still writing it.